Happy New Year. I'm Claudia Cornett here at the Beaufort Library with our inaugural speaker for the 31st Annual Book Sandwich Den Book Talk Series, sponsored by Friends of the Library. Our first speaker is going to be Anne Marie Adams, and Anne Marie is many things. She is a writer, a teacher, a storyteller. She's also an amateur astronomer, an ardent bibliophile, and a communications guru. After earning a master's degree from Ithaca College, she spent 2 decades working in everything from social networking to nonprofit work to events management, advocacy, lobbying, and wide-ranging public relations work. Along the way, she also became a serial entrepreneur, and she writes and she does all kinds of artwork, especially like illustrating, and she has a poetry series. And that's one of the things that emerged from her love of such diverse communication forms. Her piece of art, her art series is called Aquabet, and then I have with me her book, which is a book of poetry called Word Strings, Pearls of Wisdom for Everyone. And Anne Marie, in Word Strings, I found a lot of poems that had to do with time, and the book that you chose for Book Sandwich Den is about time, and I'm wondering, do you just have this preoccupation with time?
So I started to giggle when you said, why did I select Daniel Pink's book, Time?
So you have to giggle again.
I do. I mean, time is everything, and it starts with a quote in that regard, but I honestly had this interest in finding a book for one of my classes. I tend to pick a trade publication for my senior lab at Ithaca College. And I've used Thomas Friedman, I've used Erin Meyer, and so someone recommended through a LinkedIn post Daniel Pink's book, and I'd never heard of him. I honestly had not read any of his other books. I've now since read 3. And it seemed like the appropriate book to give to those who are embarking on a fresh start as they head towards graduation.
These are undergraduates?
These are undergraduates heading into their senior year and embarking on that first job.
Okay. Well, the title has a subtitle, When, the Scientific Secrets of Perfect Timing. And so would you talk a little bit about that title, the scientific secrets and the idea of perfect timing, those two things in particular?
Right. Well, I think timing itself can be perfect or imperfect.
Sure.
But what we have to keep in mind is, and what Daniel Pink has done for us is in this volume, he's created a micro look at almost 700 scholarly works about time. And he and 2 other researchers pared down big data from big data that other researchers use to create significant sayings, significant thoughts about specific moments of time and the pattern of time.
And when you say there's all this big data and research, that can sound pretty boring. So our audience listening out there, what can they expect at your book talk if you're going to do all this stuff with research and big data?
First of all, research is not boring. We want to understand
I agree.
that everyday life is research. Mm-hmm. Everything that we do involves discovery or inquiry. And so he's taken something from every walk of life's perspective, whether it's taking a nap or when to find a job, when to get married, how to get divorced at the right time. So I think what makes this book different is he's taken and made it a very consolidated way to look at time in an easy and digestible format.
So would you say that's the biggest idea in the book, that we can manage time, we can manage it more perfectly?
Yeah, I think he's asking us to be more cognizant that time is patterned.
Okay.
And if we understand our place in that pattern, we can optimize our opportunities.
I asked you if you had like a quote from the book that you especially liked.
Right.
Would you read it?
Right.
You're all ready.
First of all, and I don't want to give too much away because you have to come on January 7th to get the real gist. But he talks about naps and restorative breaks. And so when I heard this and read this for the first time, in many ways, naps are Zambonis for our brains. They smooth out the nicks, scuffs, and scratches a typical day has left on our mental ice. And I just love the way that talks about how I feel some days when I take that restorative break or I take that opportunity to step back and pause.
Well, anything that has a Zamboni metaphor in it has to be good. So thank you so much, Anne Marie, for coming just to preview what's promising to be a really provocative and useful book talk. And I'll tell you that the public can see her entire 45-minute book talk on January 7th, that's a Monday, at USCB's Center for the Arts at 805 Carteret Street. And that's in downtown Beaufort. All of the book talks are free, and if you're interested in the full 2019 series, you can pick up a rack card at any of the Beaufort libraries and get the full look at what's coming up in this year, in this 2019 year. Come early, doors open at 11:30, and we have coffee and conversation and cookies. And if you also want more information, you can check the website for the library, which is all one word, friendsofthebeaufortlibrary.com, or you can email friendsbeaufort@gmail.com. Hope to see you on January 7th.